Hi everybody, just Duncan here from Direct Drive Hub. Okay, so what we're going to look at on this video is signals, more specifically your indicator. Signals, at the end of the day, I've always said this as, you know what, they can be the most confusing thing to be, because obviously it's really important that when we use our indicator, and I am going to sort of like at this point, okay, on this video, focus on the indicator itself. It is really important that when we use our indicator that other road users take it for the intention that we are giving it, and we're not going to mislead other road users by giving a signal. So it's something that we see quite a lot, okay, when we, at the early stages, when we're working on basics, that we talk about using the indicator, and we actually just start to just get into the habit of actually just switching it on without thinking about it. A good example of this is moving off and stopping. Now, you'll have seen back on our moving off and stopping video that, we spoke about giving a signal if necessary before moving away from the side of the road, and again giving a signal before stopping and parking up at the side of the road. And it's only necessary, okay, to use your indicator if other road users or pedestrians around are going to benefit from it. If there's nobody there, then we shouldn't give a signal. Now, a question that gets asked to me a lot, okay, and has been over the years is, well, does it matter if I signal anyway? Well, let's think about that. I mean, it's not going to cause a problem, and it's not dangerous, okay, to give a left or right signal when moving off and stopping if there's nobody about. But the way I see this, if you just get into the habit of just switching your indicator on every time you move off, or switching your indicator on every time that you park up, you're not actually thinking about what is in front of you, at the side of you, behind you. You're not aware of what's going on. And as a driver, we need to be aware of what is going on around us all of the time. So a signal should be a conscious decision to use, not something that you just do for the sake of it. So we should always make sure that when we're using our indicator, we are making a conscious decision to actually use that indicator at that time, so other road users are going to take it for the reason that we're giving it. So for that reason, it is a bad practice for us just to get into the habit of just clicking the signal on without using it. So that's why, your driving instructor will ask you, did you need to give a signal there? Why did you give a signal? And if you just say, well, I just did, then we now know, okay, that you used that indicator, all right, and it wasn't a conscious decision to use it. So let's make sure that we are using the indicator consciously all the time. How we mislead, okay, a couple maybe of good examples of how we could mislead when we're using the indicator. Moving around a parked vehicle, for example, you could have a parked car on the left, so you might decide, oh yes, I'll give a signal to show other road users that I'm going round that parked car. But if there's a junction, okay, to the right, just after that parked car, it could be misleading that, other road users might think that you're intending to turn right down that road rather than just moving out for the parked car. Without sounding sarcastic, we shouldn't really need to give a signal to pass a parked car, because other road users are going to know that you're going to be moving out. They're going to expect you to move out when you've got a hazard like a parked vehicle on the left. So as we said, okay, within our mirror video, before we move out, we will check our interior mirror and our right door mirror to make sure it's perfectly safe to move out, and then we could move out to the right without giving a signal, without using that indicator. So, other road users are going to expect it, so therefore they're not going to think you're just going to go crash in the back end of it. So for that reason, okay, really generally, okay, we don't need to indicate to go around parked cars. And I know we're saying never, because the problem with driving, it isn't black and white. So there could be some circumstances where you've been boxed in behind a parked vehicle or something like that, where then it might be needed, okay, for you to indicate to show that you're coming back out. But you'll find on the whole, you shouldn't need to give a signal to pass a parked vehicle. Other misleading signal might be that you're coming to the end of a road, and at the end of the road you intend to turn left. But before the end of the road there's another junction on the left. Now the timing of that signal now is going to be important, because if you give your left hand indicator before the first road, okay, then traffic might think that you're intending to turn into that side road before the end of the road rather than actually at the end of the road itself. And particularly if there's a car waiting to come out of that junction, all right, if he or she thinks that you are turning left into that side road, it might be that they start to pull out, and all of a sudden, okay, you've now got a problem because you've got a car pulling out in front of you. So the problem there is, okay, you've actually misled there with the timing of the signal. So obviously we need to then clear that side road before then putting our signal on. So again, it is, you know, being very conscious, okay, of when you're going to signal, you know, not just getting into the routine of checking mirrors and then giving a signal. You know, have a look to see what's around, see, okay, what other maneuvers, okay, you might have to carry out, okay, before you actually reach the point where you need to turn left or right. So having a good look, making sure that your signal is timed at the right time. So again, it becomes a very, very conscious thing. So something, you know, takes time and you have to work on. But yeah, you know, signals are an important thing, okay. Later on, okay, in the video series, okay, we're going to do a video on communication. So we're going to be elaborating more on indicators and other ways, okay, of signaling in our communication video. So just quickly then to show you, okay, the indicator and how it works. Not difficult, I know most people probably know anyway, but just to confirm, okay, because sometimes people do get a little bit confused which way to move the stalk to indicate. So I'm just going to quickly show you what's what with that now. Okay, so the indicator stalk is normally found on the steering column, and quite often on the steering column, okay, we have two stalks. We have one on the left hand side, as we can see here, and we have one on the right hand side. Now you'll generally find, okay, nowadays in most modern cars, okay, your indicator is generally on the left hand side. So it's the left hand stalk that is going to be your indicator. You can find, okay, if you find yourself driving an older car, that you might find, okay, that the indicator stalk could be, okay, on the right hand side. But in most new cars now, modern cars, okay, it's normally standard that they actually fit the indicator arm to the left hand side on the steering column. The easiest way to think about, okay, which way to indicate is to think about which way you're going to be turning the wheel. So we know that obviously if we're going to be steering left, we are going to turn the steering wheel to the left. So the indicator then just wants to go down, okay, to the left. If we're going to be turning right, we're going to be turning the steering wheel to the right. So the indicator will want to go in the same way. The indicator arm will want to go up, okay, to the right. So when you're using your indicator, all you actually really need to do, okay, is just maybe put a finger or a couple of fingers out, okay, so you can just touch the indicator, so you can gently switch it on and switch it off, put it on the other way and switch it on, okay. It just wants to be a light tap. You'll find as well, okay, when you put your left hand indicator on and you've turned left and you start to bring your steering off, the indicator will then normally turn itself off. You won't have to actually switch it off yourself. There will be some occasions where you will have to turn it off yourself, but what you want to do is be nice and light and gentle with that when you're turning it on and off, so you don't accidentally start indicating the other way, which then could start to confuse other road users. So that's really all there is, okay, to sort of like using your signals. As I say, think about, okay, making sure that, you know, when you're using the indicator, all right, is it's always a conscious decision, okay? You've thought about, okay, that signal is necessary. It's not going to mislead any other road user, and it's going to be timed correctly for the reason you're giving it. Okay, so when we're actually using the indicator, so for example, when we're indicating left, we push the indicator stalk down. We can see on the dashboard there, we have got a green arrow, okay, flashing. And we should also be hearing a ticking noise. So that is showing us, okay, that we are indicating left. If we push the indicator up for right, we will get the green arrow flashing right. So it shows us the direction that we're indicating to. And again, we can hear it ticking. All right. So try and always keep mindful on that. Is that ticking noise there is deliberate, okay? So it's an orbital sound, so you know that your indicator is on. So when the indicator's on, we'll have the lights outside of the car flashing, which is the amber lights that you've seen. So we'll just go and have a look at them now for you. So what we saw there is the outside lights flashing. We had the rear light, left rear, front left, and the light on the side of the car, which is normally called a repeater light. So that side light, that repeater light, can be found on the wing, okay, the left and right wing. Or some cars nowadays actually have the repeater light actually on the mirror. So you actually see the repeater light. So that's just giving, okay, people a view from, if they're in front of you, they can see your front indicator going, so they know which way you intend to go. Behind you, and even if someone's at the side of you, they'll see that repeater light, which can be handy for things like pedestrians and cyclists and stuff like that. So that's what the lights that you're showing, okay, when you give a signal. Okay, so hopefully just running through that and showing you that is sort of like some help. Nothing really majorly difficult there. Just remember, I mean, the main thing is, okay, you know, when you're using your indicator, it should always be a conscious decision, never just something that you automatically do. And if you bear that one in mind, okay, then giving a signal generally won't be a problem to you. Okay, we'll see you on the next video. Bye.